Hello, hello, and welcome to Pampered Chef Live, our weekly live cooking show. I'm Erin, and I'm going to be your moderator tonight, and I am so happy to be here with all of you. Where are you joining from tonight? We want to know. Post it in the chat. We'll look in those comments. And while you're there, drop an emoji if your consultant actually invited you to this show tonight. We're going to be keeping an eye on that chat because we're just so excited to see who all is joining us tonight. So during the next 30 minutes or so, we'll be joining Caitlin from her home kitchen in Canada as she shares her secrets to making crispy air fryer wings and low carb, high fiber twist on nachos using a cauliflower as a base. So delicious. So today, we're also celebrating Pampered Chef's Canadian anniversary. The first Canadian party took place in March of 1996, meaning Pampered Chef has been supporting Canadian small businesses for 29 years. We're grateful for another year of partnership with our independent Canadian consultants and customers. And we're so happy to have Caitlin here tonight to help us celebrate. So after the demo, we'll be selecting 3 attendees for giveaways. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to come and join us. Be sure to register for the event right now using the Zoom link in this description of this post so that you can be eligible for tonight's drawings. You don't want to miss out. We're also going to have some Q&A time with Caitlin about the recipe and the products that she used, as well as frequently asked questions about her experience as a consultant. Some final housekeeping notes before we get started with some updated instructions this week around. So first, we're going to send that recipe and product handout for this event via email about an hour or so after the demo ends, so be on the lookout for that. Second, please take the survey that pops up in Zoom when you sign off. We want your feedback. And we'll actually even select one more lucky winner for a bonus giveaway after the survey, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that one. All right, if you have a question you'd like us or Caitlin to answer, make sure you drop it in that Q&A feature in the Zoom, which is different than that chat feed. And one of our staff members will respond, or we'll save it for Caitlin to answer, depending on the amount of time that we have left. And lastly, if that Zoom chat's getting a little overwhelming on your end, you can actually mute it. On your desktop, you can click the arrow that's next to the chat button at the top of your screen, and then click Stop Showing Chat Preview. On mobile, open the chat, just like we announced, and tap that little bell icon, and then select mute. You can also hide the emoji reactions by selecting More, with again, those 3 little dots, and selecting Hide Reactions. All right, well, with no further ado, it's time to grab a drink, relax, and let's get cooking. Caitlin, over to you.
Hi guys, thank you Erin, thank you very much. I am a proud Canadian consultant with Pampered Chef Canada, and I have been for about 3.5 years. I started this actually when I found out that I was going to be retiring from my career as a RCMP and 911 dispatcher. So this has been a fantastic, very low stress retirement job, absolutely perfect. Tonight, like she said, I'm going to be making low-carb nachos, and I'm going to be showing you the trick to making really crispy air fryer chicken wings. I did actually just throw them in the air fryer right now. It's a beautiful deluxe air fryer and oven. And I'm going to start putting together the cauliflower nachos because I got lots of stuff to show you guys, but we'll put the stuff in the oven first and have it going, all right? So I am just going to start with the cauliflower. Do you want to know a simple trick for floretting your cauliflower? Is cut it in quarters and then just cut right down here. So I'm going to grab one of the knives, pick a knife, any knife, from the Foundation knife set, which is a new knife set right here. I love it. The right knife to use is the knife that you're comfortable with. So if you're thinking, no, I'm supposed to use a chef's knife or a Sentoku knife or whatever, no, just use whichever one feels comfortable in your hand, something that's nice and sharp. Okay, so I got my cauliflower, I got it quartered right here. So I'm just going to put the stem towards the bottom, put the knife at the top, and I'm just going to cut right down. And you see that whole stem part is going to come right off of there. Get rid of that. And it's going to be really easy just to pull off the florets, okay? Super easy way to go about it. And then you can just tear it with your hands a little bit, okay? Nice and simple. My favorite way to cut cauliflower. I have the cauliflower all floreted right here. I'm going to get this ready to go as well. So in the new deluxe air fryer and oven, there is a top compartment that works as your basic toaster oven. And then there's a bottom compartment here that works as an air fryer. So altogether, you get a lot of capacity in this baby. I'm going to start it heating up here. I'm just turning it to custom. There's also toast, bagel, just whatever you could want for a toaster oven. And of course there's a little Pampered Chef twist on it because there is not just a bake option in there, there is a stone bake option in there and a pizza option. So if you're looking to cook a frozen pizza and throw it in, like, it's awesome. So many options. So throwing that on custom, putting it to 375, and I'm going to put it in there for 16 minutes. And then that's just going to preheat. It's really not going to take very long at all to preheat, and it will let me know when it's done by saying add food. It's very friendly. Definitely lets you know what it wants. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in this because even though you're using an air fryer, you always still want a bit of oil with something in order to kind of crisp it up. I am using the oil and vinegar dispenser here, and this is absolutely indispensable in my kitchen. Do you know how many times there are that you need just like a tablespoon of oil? You don't want to go using the measuring spoon, or if you're using the measuring spoon for something else, you just don't want to dirty it up with the oil first. Anyway, there's a button you just press in on both sides right here. Measurements up the side, anywhere between 1 and 3 teaspoons right there, so you know exactly how much you're getting, you're in full control, and you can just pour it right in. I'm going to season my cauliflower nachos with Jamaican jerk seasoning. You could use any seasoning that you want, and you can switch it up each time if you want, just to do something a little different. So, just gonna toss that in there. Mix it up a little. I am using stainless steel bowls. Reasons why I love these: A, they're durable. B, they got a thumb hold. C, they got lids. If I am ever chopping veggies ahead of time, I am using these. I'm putting the lid on it. I'm also actually just turning the little bit so that I can pour out any water or anything else that is in it if I need to strain something. There's also measurements on the inside of this, which is super convenient too, just in case you need to know how much you have in there for something. I find it handy when I'm making coleslaw or something like that, and I just need to know how much is in there. So, I'm gonna throw my future nachos right on there. Beautiful. And I swear, these are gonna taste so good, you're not even gonna really miss the nachos. I'm just gonna throw them on top. Oh, said add food. Good, here we go. So I am just going to let it know that I put the food in, give it a little start, and now it's gonna start counting down. So I'm gonna show you a couple of things here. I did not do the foundation knife set justice. Me and my husband, we were actually just talking about this, how you don't need all the knives in a knife block all of the time. And this foundation knife set here, it has like the knives that I really need. It's got a chef's knife, beautiful chef's knife, like these are sharp, beautiful. It's got a bread knife. It's got a paring knife. And it has a utility knife. All of these are great. Now, it does come with just this small lock right here. However, if you wanted to store this in a drawer instead of on your countertop, that's very easily done. It's like a knife block transformer there. Very, very nice. You will not be disappointed with these knives at all, and they are going to serve you for a very, very, very long time. Just a beautiful addition to the catalog. Nachos. You can't have nachos without cheese, can you? So we're gonna get going on those. Because we'll get everything ready to go on this by the time that those are done going. I'm going to use the adjustable double grater. Few things about this that's pretty awesome. I do love, it's got the one side for doing smaller stuff, for doing Parmesan, for doing zesting, something of that variety. On the other side, it's for doing larger grating. It does very, very long strings of cheese, which is nice for melting coverage. And both of these sides will actually, they pop apart like this. If you want to just, for easy cleaning, maybe you're using one side and not the other side. They also come with this fancy-dancy finger protector, because you know when you're grating, and these are laser etched, like they are sharp, sharp, sharp. So to make sure that you are grating more cheese and less fingers, there is this. When it starts to get low, you can put your cheese right in there, you can put the protector on there, and you can just grate away, okay? And you're gonna know how much you're grating because it comes with this little cup collector. And this cup collector has markings up the side of it that'll let you know if you've got a cup or you got 2 cups. I mean, it doesn't have to be that precise with cheese. We all know you measure cheese with your heart. However, it's nice to have like an estimate, right? So I'm gonna start some measuring with my heart right here. And you'll see them, it does a great job. It's just a good grater. And then you can clean it up in the dishwasher after, nice and easy. How about you guys? Are you team like long stringy cheese, or do you like the shorter ones? My block's breaking on me a little bit here, but it'll all melt the same. Awesome. So I'm happy with that, and I've got it in my little collector here. Just pick up the strays, throw them in, and then my cutting board's still ready. If I have anything else that I want to cut, I can do it. Okay, so I've got that ready. I'm also going to be putting beans on, so I've got those prepared. I do want to put some fresh toppings on my nachos as well, and a lot of the time I find that I like putting the fresh toppings on after they've already kind of cooked a little bit. I want to introduce you guys to a new product. If you have not seen this yet, this is the mince and roll, okay? It's a brand new product, just came out. It's got these blades on the inside of it. And it's great for chopping small things like herbs. I'm going to be using it to chop a little concoction of my own to go on the nachos. So I've got some jalapeno here I'm going to throw in with it. I am going to throw some shallot in with it. I like shallot for doing things that are raw. I find that it's a little milder tasting than if I'm just putting raw onion on something, and to be fair, it might not even be enough time if I was using white onion for me to be happy with the way it was cooked on my nachos. So shallot, if I don't have a lot of cook time, is definitely my go-to. So throw some of this in there, and then my friends, I don't know whether you are team cilantro or team cilantro, but either way, look away or look at me. I'm putting cilantro on these. And I do. I love cilantro. I'm that person that would just eat it raw as a snack and think that it was good, but maybe that precludes us from eating nachos together. I'm not sure, but you could definitely do this your own way. And one thing about the mince and roll, I do find that it works better if I am using a variety. If I'm using stuff that's a little harder and heavier plus the herbs, I just have better results that way. But I'll show you because she works in a couple different ways. All right, so I'm just going to put that lid onto it. You just give it a nice little, spin like this. I'm sure it works out something. Or the alternate way to use it is after you spin it a little bit that way, you can just give it a little rock and roll like this, and it's just going to do its own thing. You can have a little giveaway, really. To me, I look at something like this and I'm thinking, how Pampered Chef is that? So I've got things chopped up pretty good in there, but I'm gonna give it another little roll just for good measure. There we go. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's nice and minced up now, so good to go. Yeah, it's a nice, easy little tool to use. I have been enjoying using it, and whew, that jalapeno. I think it's getting the last laugh there. Got a little bit of bite. Okay, I am going to flip my chicken wings. I have them in there, and oh, I forgot to tell you the secret to the crispiness. I will tell you that in just a second. There we go. So I got those full thrown in. Oh, I didn't like my gloves. These are the new oven gloves, and I gotta tell you, I have not used any other oven mitt since I started using these. I know some oven mitts are really big on lady hands, and my husband likes them, I like them, everybody seems to like them. They've got a nice little extra bit of protection right there to keep you from burning yourself. They give you the dexterity you need to be getting the trays in and out of the air fryer. Just love, love, love these. Honestly, if you are in the market for something, just add these casually to cart because you will not regret that life choice. We've already stashed a second pair away for taking camping with us. Like, these are awesome. Okay, I am going to share the secret to crispy chicken wings, and it is so easy. You have it in your cupboard and you are ready to go, and your life will be forever changed if you don't know this. Baking powder. Baking powder is the secret. So just about 2 teaspoons of baking powder for every pound of wings. Dry off your wings because you don't want them, like totally mushy. And then just put your baking powder on it. Let it sit there for 5 minutes, or you can even let it sit in your fridge for 24 hours, and they're just going to crisp right up. You can actually listen to the wings and hear a little bit of a sizzle on it. Leads to the best chicken wings. So easy, and like I said, you only need 5 minutes to make that magic happen. So do not forget that if you forget anything else. I'm also going to give you guys another little treat tonight. I'm going to show you how to make some wing sauce. And if you've ever bought buffalo wing sauce, anything like that, honestly, you don't need to. You can make better stuff at home. You can save money this way. And you will find a million uses for it because buffalo sauce is delicious. My favorite thing to make wing sauce in, these are the silicone prep bowls. Love these silicone prep bowls for melting anything in the microwave, for getting something into a place where it's bendy. I use them for soaking cashews because I can just squeeze the top like that and dump out the water. These things are amazing. But I'm going to use them for making wing sauce tonight. They come in a set of 3, and they all nest together like those Russian dolls, and they all come with lids. So after this is all said and done, I made my wing sauce, I'm going to be able to put a lid on it and just put it in my fridge for another day, another meal, or dipping more wings in later. So to make buffalo sauce, the base for buffalo sauce is you just need butter and hot sauce. Okay, so I'm actually going to use ghee, which is it's a clarified butter. So a lot of people have issues with some of the proteins in dairy. The difference, ghee is butter. However, it has been clarified to remove the milk solids, so it makes it friendlier for people who have allergies. You can use 2 to 3 tablespoons, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm just going to heat this up. The more butter you put into your buffalo sauce, the milder it's going to be, okay? So if you want it to be really, really, really spicy, put a little less butter in it, but you'll never regret having the butter in your wing sauce. And for hot sauce, I just use Frank's. It's good, it's available, it's affordable. You really can't lose. Okay. So I got my butter all melty in there. One of the other nice things about the silicone prep bowl set is that it has markings on the inside of it. I love measurements on the inside of cups or bowls or anything. Yeah, there's a theme there. The measurements are just handy. So I'm gonna fill it up to the 1 cup line. Doesn't matter how much butter I put in there, I'm gonna fill it up to the 1 cup line, okay? And that could be absolutely the base for a simple buffalo sauce right there. But after you do these things for a little while, you know, you get your own secret sauce. So I'm gonna tell you my secret sauce. So 1 clove of garlic, all it takes. Don't need much. I have it in the Pampered Chef garlic press right here. There we go. I am going to put 1 teaspoon of dried cilantro. And I've got my Pampered Chef measuring spoons here. Kind of cool. Okay, so you get to see these. Measuring spoons, they all click together. So they all stay like that together in your drawer. You don't have to go searching for them. They don't take up much space. But I'm going to take my 1 teaspoon and these measuring spoons, I got to say these some other cool things about them because they're just, it's the simple little things, you know? They will sit flat on the counter for you because they're not rounded at the bottom, and they also will fit into pretty much every seasoning jar you have. Even the 1 tablespoon one will fit into pretty much everything, okay? So I'm also going to put in a couple teaspoons of my favorite rub to go in this is the bell pepper herb rub. If you have not had this rub, have it. It is delicious. I could eat it with a spoon. So good, but I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of this in there. If you're ever wondering what to use bell pepper herb for, use it in anything that you would ever put a bell pepper in. If you could put a bell pepper in the recipe, this is gonna make it taste better. If the recipe could use it, it'll be delicious. And I'm also going to put a bit of sugar in here. You can use brown sugar, you can use maple syrup. Proudly Canadian, I am using maple sugar in mine. So I'm going to put 4 teaspoons of sugar of your choice. And that is it. That, my friends, is my secret sauce. And I guarantee you, if you try it, it is totally worth the price of admission tonight. There we go. My wing sauce is ready to roll. And we just have a minute left on the deluxe air fryer oven. Guys, I cannot say how much I have loved using this air fryer since I got it. I can fit so many things in there. I've got a family of 5, so being able to feed everybody out of a regular air fryer can be really challenging. Now for this, I can put a whole chicken down below. I can have a whole tray of vegetables roasting up above, and it also has a sync feature, so I can make them both finish at the same time. So I know my veggies are going to take 20 minutes. I know my chicken is going to take about 50 minutes. I can just press that button and have it all finish up like magic, and I have more time to go do other things or spend time with the kids or not be stressed about the meal. If you want to add this to your kitchen, which honestly I highly recommend, I think that you will love it. I don't think you will regret that life choice. You have options. I would recommend hosting a party to get it. In March or in April, you can save 60% off the price of that air fryer, and you're going to use it every day. Like, it is worth every penny. I promise you that. Okay, I am just going to get ready to bring my nachos over here. Grab my trivet, nesting trivets. They're like a 3-in-1. So if you're looking to save space and have all of the things, you got 3 different trivets here, and they all nest together. Fancy, eh? All right. Just gonna grab these out of here. Looking good so far. Now I'm just gonna set this on broil. gonna broil there for 3 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna put my toppings on here, okay? Not that I'm broiling it with many toppings, but just gonna kind of smush that a little together. Throw my cheese on top. I think my heart measured good on that. I think that's a good cheese to cauliflower ratio. I'm feeling it. And I'm gonna throw, because you can't go wrong with a bit of protein on there. There we go. So I've got beans on top. Just gonna skip the preheat. I accidentally turned the bottom off. It happens. No harm done. That's one of the things that I like. If I do anything accidentally with this, I don't have to wait for the whole preheat cycle to go again. I can just say, oops, beg for forgiveness, and then I can just press that button one time and it skips the preheat. So if you have your oops moments in the kitchen too. There we go. So now that is counting down for me. And yeah, we're gonna pretty much get things ready to put our tray together. I do have this beautiful charcuterie board. This is just classy. It's made of acacia woods. Everyone is going to be slightly unique, but they're all going to be beautiful. You can use this side where you get 3 different compartments where you can put things in, or you can use this side if you wanted to, you know, be really fashionable and make yourself some kind of charcuterie board or a butter board, or have you seen it with those icing boards where there's icing on it and you can dip things in it? That sounds delicious right now. But you can take this, there's a porcelain compartment. I think it's porcelain. It feels like I would break it if I dropped it on the floor. Might not know the materials completely, but it's good and it feels nice. So you can put that, it fits right in there. It fits 2 different sauces. I got some ranch in there because, you know, can't go wrong with ranch. I'm gonna throw some of my wing sauce in there because you can't go wrong with dipping a little extra on that, especially if you want some on your cauliflower nachos after. And then that is ready to go. I will have my wings and my nachos ready to go very soon to go on top of this. And then I am ready to entertain, game day ready, whatever you'd like to do. By the way, with this, the mince and roll, I got all my toppings in there. If I wanted to store this away for later, I find I can do it very easily. I can just put the lid on it and put it back in the fridge. Kind of a nice thing to be able to do if you want to do it. Just waiting on that before I can put my toppings on. Tell you what, guys, I'm going to show you another cool little thing. So, check this out. It is a 5-in-1 opener. So if you're using it to try to, you know, when you're trying to get that jar open, you need to give it a little pop, get a little bit of the air out before you can turn it. This will do that. This part right here, it'll open for bottles. This will open. This will open like beer bottles or something like that. You know, the one that have not the twist cap, the ones that get a pop. And then this little side right here, maybe you just did your nails and you don't want to ruin them or whatnot. You can just take this, put that in, open yourself a nice can of something cold, and you are set ready, and also, once again, game ready. There. I'm just going to quickly put my toppings on my nachos. Those are looking beautiful. They're about to get a little prettier. As I'm just going to throw my fresh toppings Add some color, add some flavor, add some dimension and character. And then I'm gonna bring these up so that you can pretty much like smell them through the screen. I'm going to put these onto my charcuterie board. I'm gonna throw them on there using spatula tongs. I don't know if you've ever used these before, but if there's ever anything that you needed a spatula for and you wanted to have one on either side, this is your dream tool come true. But for scooping up nachos, something like that, these are perfect. Give you a nice little scoop action right there. Melted cheese goes everywhere, just like a commercial. Should be going everywhere, right? There you go. Check these bad boys. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can hear that sizzle, but those are beauty. I'm just gonna throw these into a bowl here. Toss in my wing sauce. Okay guys, I don't know what your plans are for tonight, but I know what my plans are. Back to you, Erin.
Wow, Kaylin, that looks so good. You have so many hungry people in the chat following along right now, including me. I haven't had dinner yet, so you're really you're really making me hungry over here, which is a great thing. All right, so we are going to get into the giveaway tonight. So we are giving away 3 prep bundle sets, which includes our mince and roll, our decorative food cutter, and the hottest new spring product, the amazing 5-in-1 opener. So tonight's winners are Marcia Smith, Truda Hoffman, and Deborah Krinsmith. Congratulations to our winners. We will be in touch with you after the event to get your shipping information, so be on the lookout for that. And also, as Caitlin had already mentioned earlier, if you're interested in getting your hands on this deluxe air fryer and oven, and who wouldn't, or any other of our small appliances, you are actually able to host a party this month and in April and get one of those at 60% off. How great is that? But even better, the second way to get this incredible product is by becoming a consultant this month in March and earning it for free. That sounds even better to me. There's still time this month to start your own side hustle, so make sure you reach out to your consultant to learn more about how that works. All right, so let's turn back to Caitlin for some Q&A. Are you ready for some questions?
Sure am.
All right. So let's start off with this. How often, if you have made this before, do you make this for your family, or would you make this for your family? Are your kids liking it?
I don't make this for my kids.
That's fair. That's like for the parents.
They're tiny. They're 5, 3, and 9 months. So I'm like, you know what? Chicken wings are. Doesn't sound bad, Mom, to say too good for you, but Save those for me and hubby usually. Every once in a while they'll have some, minus the wing sauce. It's a little too spicy for them, but
Yeah, well, that's perfect. That leads into my next one. So they were asking if that seasoning you used is spicy, and if it is, what would you recommend maybe for those who don't love the spice as much?
well, I mean, with Frank's, yes, Frank's is gonna be spicy. It's a hot sauce. So if you're okay with a little bit of heat, I'd say just up the butter and decrease the hot sauce, and then you're still gonna have that nice like buttery flavor with a bit of heat. So the more butter, the less heat. Otherwise, you might want to go for something that would be entirely different. I was gonna say you're probably not gonna want to toss them in butter, and then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, that sounds kind of delicious.
It sure does. Like you sold me on it. I don't know. Another one is some people were asking the questions, why do you soak cashews? Can you just talk us through that a little bit?
Soaking cashews, yeah, like I have a lot of allergies, so I'll use cashews if I'm going to be making them in a sauce or something like that. It makes them easier to use if you are soaking them in water first. Or say I'm making a lasagna, I'll make a nut cheese out of it, which I'll take cashews, I'll soak them for a little while, and then grind them up a little bit. But it just softens them up if you're going to use them in something else.
All right. And one more on this recipe. Can you tell us again what your trick was to make them extra crispy?
Yes, baking powder. Baking powder, all of the baking powder, 2 teaspoons per pound approximately. So just remember that 2 teaspoons per pound baking powder, and you will be in crispy chicken wings for the rest of your life. You are welcome.
Thank you for that. What are some of your other favorite recipes of yours that you really like to make in this deluxe air fryer and oven?
We do a lot of like chicken and veggies. There is a pasta bake. There's actually an awesome setting on the air fryer in the bottom setting. Um, it's called Heat and Crisp. And that one is awesome if you're doing casseroles, because you can actually, there's a dish that you can buy that'll fit the equivalent of a 9 by 13 casserole. So if you have any casserole recipes, you can actually cook them in there. And the reason that I like the Heat and Crisp is because it has a low fan setting. If you have a low fan setting, you can cook something a little low and slow, which is what you want to do if you're doing a casserole. Whereas if you're making chicken wings, you want a little higher heat to crisp it up. So it's really nice the versatility that you get with this air fryer as well to be able to make those family recipes.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're talking about those features, do you have a specific favorite feature of the air fryer?
Oh, that is so hard. That is really hard.
I know that sink finish for me is really the game changer.
The sink finish is very nice just because there's so many things to think about throughout the day, and the last time that you ever want to be thinking is pre-food before supper. Like that is just a time you've already worked all day, your brain is shut down at that time. You are not at your best. So if you can tell that thing, listen, this is going to take 45 minutes, this is going to take 20, and make it all happen and make it all finish at the same time, that is nothing short of kitchen magic.
I couldn't agree more. It really is. It's my favorite if it doesn't show. All right, we're going to go into a little bit about you with this last one. So what made you want to become a Pampered Chef consultant, and what makes you stay?
And it's funny, like I had no idea what I was getting into when I started this. I was just over 20 weeks pregnant with my second born child. I found out I was going to be medically retiring when I went back from maternity leave, and it was kind of a shock to me at the time. And this opportunity came up, and I thought, well, might as well give it a go. If I'm not good at it, at least the kit's nice. So there was really no downside. There was only an upside. And then it turned out I absolutely loved it. And where I did mention I do have the allergies, I am gluten-free, and I've met so many other people that also are gluten-free. Maybe they've been doing it for a while or just starting their journey, but I've been able to help a lot of people, which I did not expect starting this business. So it's just been amazing. And the people that I've met along the way, consultants and customers, I've made friends. I've gone on trips to meet these friends in person, like cross country. And I just am so honestly grateful for this every day.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing. I love hearing people's personal stories of why they got started. And if there's any of you interested in learning more about becoming a consultant, make sure that you connect with your consultant or visit that Be a Consultant page on our website. So make sure you check that out and, see what this Pampered Chef community is really all about. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And thank you, Caitlin. This was so much fun watching. Said you made me very hungry and I am itching to go eat right now. So I appreciate that. And we hope that all of you at home will join us next time, next week at the same time, apologies, with Sandy and I in our test kitchen, where Sandy will be showing us how to make a DIY taco bar with easy tips for prepping and serving. And plus, we're going to have another giveaway, and we'll be showing off a new product that's launching in April. So it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for it. Make sure you're registered. Go register now if you haven't yet. Thank you all again. Thank you, Caitlin, and everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye.